Guess who got a mic? And guess who became Batman? For real, man. This shit. I fuck around too much. I fuck around far too much, man. I went and bought a mic. Like I said, I got light. Boy, I got that autism where like I like lights. I love lights, and lights do it for me. Lights do it. Man, damn. I haven't recorded on my YouTube. Truth be told, welcome to my YouTube channel. I have a nice little microphone. I'm looking right at my fucking setup right now. I changed my room up, and what else? What else is new? I don't necessarily know what else is new, but I do want to talk about why haven't I recorded in over a month, and it's just been because bipolar disorder is absolutely fascinating, and it's man, sometimes it's just debilitating at times. At times it's debilitating, but at times those fucking skyrockets. And I was on one of those rockets. It was I had recorded a video before I went out to New York, and that video it actually never uploaded to YouTube, and I really got like really mad about it because I took my time on it, right? I edited it, and I fucking chopped it up, and I did all this other stuff to it, and I was trying my best to make it seem like I don't know, I guess like I took my time on it, all right? I just took my time on it. And when I took my time on it, and for it not to upload, it really fucking pissed me off. And like, again, man, sometimes I read into things like way too goddamn much. And I think that we all have that tendency, but I think that I have it just a little bit more, not even a little bit more. I'm not even trying to get into a contest of it. But it was that tendency, right? It was that tendency, and it was right before I took out to New York. It was right before I took out to New York because we left on Sunday, and I wanted to drop that episode on that Sunday, and then I was pissed off about it, and then our flight got delayed out there in Charlotte for, I think it was like 12 hours or some shit like that, and I could have done it then, but I was really in my head. I was really in my head. And again, going back to like bipolar disorder, right? Bipolar disorder, manic bipolar disorder, whatever the fuck it is, autism, fucking ADHD, all of the above, undiagnosed and thriving, as one of my very current ex-girlfriends would say. And it goes back to that, right? To where I had all that time. To upload that, to fuck around and upload that video, but I just didn't. And even after that, right? Even after that, because I had brought my stuff to New York, and I wanted to do a little podcast out there in New York and stuff, but I just got too caught up in all the fucking lights, the pigeon brain. I often tell people that I need Adderall. If I had a prescription Adderall, I would write a fucking book. Like, I would write a book. Like, I cleaned out all this stuff today. Like, I moved my room around. I cleaned out all of my shit, and man, I had one of those flow states this morning. I really did. I had one of those flow states this morning to where I woke up nice, and I mean, not even early. It wasn't. I didn't wake up at like 4 o'clock. I woke up at 7 o'clock this morning, and I woke up just naturally. And kind of like fucked around in bed, just kind of like laid around. I'm currently off of social media. It's been almost a month now, going on a month on the 11th. So there's that. But so I was just fucking around in bed, just kind of like flipping around, falling asleep and stuff like that. And then I just woke up and I started reading my book, Atomic Habits. And if you haven't read the Atomic Habit book, it's a fascinating book. It's a really good book too. Currently, highly encourage people to read that book. That's such a good book. And I started reading that book, and I do, right behind the setup, I have my atomic habits listed. And I only have my morning routine listed. And maybe I should start doing this more, even for like a YouTube thing, because it gets me out of my head. You know what I'm saying? It gets me out of my head. And once it gets me out of my head, then I get into a flow state. Because even right now, I have other listing. Like, if you can see, I have whiteboards all over the fucking place. I have whiteboards there. I got whiteboards there. I got whiteboards outside. I got a fanny pack. Boy, I'll flex hard on that fanny pack here in a second. But I got a fanny pack, and my fanny pack, what am I going to start putting in my fanny pack is just a notebook. Because I'm very um I guess the word is frustrated. The word would be frustrated. I'm frustrated with myself in the sense that I'm just not achieving my potential, and I do. I really think that it's my bipolar disorder. I think it's my mania. I think it's my ADHD, whatever the fuck it is. I'm just a spiral of fucking energy. I'm a spiral of energy, and once you get in that tornado of that spiral, you know, you get all these thoughts, and everybody that they see the potential, right? Like they see the potential, and people always tell me, and like I really can't stand it. Like honest to God, like I love everybody who's told me this, but like at the same time, like I really really cannot stand it. I can't stand um when people tell me, oh, you could do this and you could do great things and you could do all this kind of shit, and it's just like I don't want to do any of that. Like I really 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 don't. But I do see where I can write a book. Like I could write a book. I can do podcasting. I could do vlogging or whatever the fuck this is. Podcasting, vlogging, and stuff like that. I enjoy looking again. I look for my lights. I like the little tripod that I'm looking at. I bought a fancy fucking microphone. ASMR, Batman motherfucker. I bought a nice little microphone, and learning about all these things has been very fascinating to me and very fulfilling in a whole lot of ways. And I'm frustrated that I'm not doing it, And I'm frustrated, and I'm not frustrated from a sense that where it's just like, oh, I could be making $1 million and I could be doing an influencer job, and oh, I could have 1 million. No, fuck all that, man. Fuck all that, I'm frustrated in the sense that like coming from a parent's point of view, look, I like to go in big, big circles. So I'm going to wrap all this around, right? We're going the huge scenic route. So we started with, bipolar disorder and why I haven't recorded in over a month. And, we went to New York and, bipolar and frustrated with the potential. And now we're at parenting. So again, we're going to go full circle. We're going to go the huge scenic route. I'm a fucking father. I see my daughter. I see both my daughters. And oh my God, Jesus fucking Christ. If you want proof that karma is real, have children. Have children. Children will fucking sit you. Children will let you know, bitch, karma is absolutely positively real. And that's it. That's that. My children aren't even bad. My kids are just kids. They're teenage kids. And like every time I fucking talk to them, I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself. Oh my God. I'm sitting there talking to myself, and myself is telling myself, like, okay, Dad, you can tell me all you want, Dad, but I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do. All right, Dad, respectfully, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating because I see all the potential in my children. I see great potential in my oldest one. I see great potential in my youngest one, and they have all the tools that they need in life to become great little fucking human beings. And what are they doing? They're just fucking around and finding out. They're fucking around and finding out. And I mean, granted that they have like I guess like a safety net. They said they have a safety net. Like look, if shit blows up in their face, I'm gonna laugh at them and I'm gonna talk shit to them while they're on the floor and be like, what the fuck did I tell you? I told you, like for real, you're gonna fuck around and find out. Now I'm gonna help you back up. I don't have that. I've never had that. I've fucked around plenty and found out that shit's kind of rough out here, and going back to the parenting thing and going back to talking to myself, it just frustrates me. But then it just sits me back. And I'm like, huh. Well, goddamn. Here I am talking to myself, and I started talking to myself to where it's just like, hey man, you could get your shit together. And what do I continue to tell myself? I continue to tell myself like, yeah, okay, look, I'm gonna get my shit together, but first let me do this and stuff. Like for real. These are actual conversations that go on inside of my head, and I'm frustrated with it. I'm very frustrated with it. I'm frustrated with knowing better. I'm frustrated with having all the experience to do better, and not fucking doing it. And again, to have that hindsight to where it's just like, fuck, man, I'm doing this with my kids, and now I'm doing this with myself, and it's just kind of like I'm a yoga instructor, and I don't have that problem in yoga because I'm too busy, just fucking out there being fucking me and shit, and I mean, I could tell people. Don't get me wrong, like for real. Like I see people doing wild shit in yoga, and I'm like, oh, hey, baby, I encourage you to do what you got to do for your body, So go ahead and just flow away. But oh man, life is life, man. Life is fucking life. Life is life, and it's such a fascinating little fucking journey that we're all on, right? Such a fascinating little journey that we're all on. And going back to like the potential and going back to, all the tools and the makings and everything like that of being fucking great. And then because then I go back to that, right? Why do I want my kids to be great? Why do I want my kids to be great? Like, why do I want them to be great? Why do I want them to do such tremendous fucking things in life? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm talking to me. Fucking life, dog. Fucking life, I'm sitting there and I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to myself and I'm like, man, do it. Fucking do it. You have all the fucking makings in the world to fucking go out there and fucking become great. So fucking do it. And when I think that's where some parents really do, they tend to fuck up. They fuck up bad, right? They fuck up in that sense to where it's just like they want their kids to go and achieve the great things that they never were able to, and to sit back and realize like, oh fuck, I'm putting that expectation on my children, and I'm not putting that expectation on myself. Like it's kind of humbling. And to throw in a little bit of like bipolar depression with that shit, like man, hell yeah, that shit is hella humbling, and which brings me all the way back around here, I see my little girl, she gets real flustered and real frustrated when things don't go her way, right? When things don't go according to plan, when things kind of, when life just does what life fucking does and shakes shit up, right? And my little girl gets real flustered and gets real frustrated, and I see her kind of shut down. And going back to my second video, I got real flustered. I got real frustrated. I was like, man, what the fuck? I did all that shit for what? So that way it just didn't get uploaded. Like, man, fuck this shit. And then it kind of spiraled. And again, I see my kids going through that shit. And then it goes back again. Even furthermore, it goes back to where like, now my kids are just becoming me. You know what I'm saying? Like my kids are becoming me to where I have subliminally taught them these kind of things. And I've given them these genes and I've given them these traits and shit. And whew, man, that's it's not really fucking cool, man. It's not really fucking cool. And like, don't get me wrong, like I've given them good traits and I've given them good because sometimes I'm blown away by them little fuckers, like the tenacity that they got, like the fucking stubbornness that they got, and the confidence that they have of like they're gonna get the shit done like no matter what, and I can appreciate that shit. Like I can appreciate the fuck out of that shit, But again, going back to the second video, right? The second video didn't get uploaded. I got frustrated. I got fucked up. Went into a little downward spiral. Then I got out to New York. All the lights, all the glamour, everything else. The high, the low. Shoom! I hit that fucking low, that depressive low. And then again, seeing my kids' tenacity and seeing my kids' hard-headedness and seeing their stubbornness. I text my coach the other day, and I text a few of my friends the other day because I was out there working on my yard. And I'm that. Look, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like for real, like one of the first times that I attempted suicide, it was when I was much younger. I was I want to say maybe I'm 40 now, but I was probably like 20 or some shit like that. And I was a first-time father, first-time husband, first-time homeowner, and it was just kind of very overwhelming. It was so fucking overwhelming, and I fucking hated doing yard work. I couldn't stand doing yard work. But then again, like for real, like I was a fat boy. Like I was a big fat boy, big fat boy. Like I was like 260, 270. So I was a real big fat boy, and yard work just wasn't my thing, man. Yard work, man, I couldn't stand that shit. But I still remember, like, it was an argument that me and my ex-wife, and it wasn't necessarily an argument. She was just telling me, like, go fucking be a man and do the yard, like, we got a house now, like, go fucking do the yard. And me being a little bitch and shit like that, like, I just wasn't doing the yard. I wasn't doing the yard. And again, at that time, I was very overwhelmed, and I didn't know how to necessarily say that I was overwhelmed. I didn't know better, so I couldn't do better, and I didn't have nobody to like necessarily reach out to or like lean on because I grew up, without a father. I really don't keep in touch with a lot of my family. It was good, and then I remember she was like, "Oh, okay, well then I'll just call my dad," and I was that. Ooh, as a man, you have a code, right? You have a code, and then that code, when that code gets fucking rocked like that just fucking hurts, it hurts. And it wasn't, I didn't go kill myself because I didn't want to do the lawn. It was an accumulation of all that. It was an accumulation of all that. And so, going back to the story of what I told my coach, I hated doing the lawn. And it was just it was look, I couldn't stand doing the lawn. And having retrospect, right? Having retrospect, because it was Saturday morning. I'm up at 4 a.m. Fucking, I read, I meditate, I do my morning flow, I clean the fucking house, I feed the fucking farm, and I go to the gym. I'm killing myself for about an hour and a half, doing my thing in the gym. And I come home, and I'm that person who spends 4 hours on my lawn now. Like, I'm that person. Like, it's dead as fuck. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you go out there, you crunch it on fucking grass, but you best believe those goddamn lines are straight. You know what I'm saying? That those edges are cleaned up. Those edges are all nice and trimmed. And I spend 4 hours on front and back, raking up leaves, pulling, fucking straight up pulling weeds. I'm pulling weeds. I don't fuck around, baby. I'll pull those weeds. I'm pulling weeds. And I'm also the type that, I even get on the weeds that grow in between the street and the curb, like, now I take a whole lot of pride in, like, again, going back to hindsight, right? Going back to hindsight, the stubbornness, the tenacity and I don't feel overwhelmed by it anymore. Like, I do not feel overwhelmed by it. And, oh man, again, life, dog, life. Just to be able to like look back and like, I remember when I fucking hated yard work, and now I really take a lot of pride in it. Like, I take a whole lot of pride in it. And sometimes I look forward to my yard work. I look forward to going out there and raking my leaves. I look forward to going out there and watering my trees. Like, life just continues to just. Welcome to Chili's, motherfucker. You haven't learned a goddamn thing, and I think it's such a beautiful. It's a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful transition. It's a beautiful fucking evolution. And I was telling my coach about that. Like, I was telling my coach to where I went from being so overwhelmed, suicidally over. I don't even. Is that a word? Suicide. Fuck it. I went from suicidally overwhelmed in my 20s to now I'm in my 40s, and I got plantar fucking fasciitis. This goddamn fucking foot is killing me. My shoulder's torn up, and my hands are calloused. My body's breaking down and shit like that. But now, dude, I'm up at fucking 4 a.m. doing the whole goddamn thing, doing the whole song and dance, and I don't feel overwhelmed one goddamn bit. Like, even in this sense too, to where like, I don't get overwhelmed. I just, fuck it, man. I don't give a fuck about it. I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just throw it to the side. Because even when I text my coach about that, and I was talking about like impact, right? How I'm a yoga instructor. I also teach at a CrossFit gym. And, I think in the fitness industry, we have to be impactful, right? Or like, even right now, what would you consider me? Like, I'm not fucking rating videos, or I'm not fucking, I don't know, shaking my ass. Like, if I had an ass, I would be shaking that motherfucker on OnlyFans all goddamn. Beside the point. I guess like I'm a impactful YouTuber, positive YouTuber, whatever the fuck. I'm again impactful, right? Impactful. And I think that we get caught up in that, right? We get caught up into where we need to be impactful. We need to be impactful in everybody's life. We need to be impactful in our children's life. We need to be impactful in fucking work. We need to be impactful all across the board. Because if we're not impactful, what are we doing with life? Again, hindsight, right? Hindsight. I had that moment the other day. Where I was when I was outside and I was cleaning. I sweep the fucking street. It's I sweep the street, bitch. I was sweeping the street and I thought about that. I was like, damn, because I was proud of my work. I was proud of my hard work. I was proud of it. And I thought about that, and I was like, "Damn!" I remember I wanted to kill myself one time because I hated doing this shit, and now look at me, now look at me, and how impactful have I been in my own life? And even it goes back to the whole New York trip, the whole second video. Going back to the whole second video, um, I've been living. I've been fucking living, and I think that we just get caught up in trying to do something else for someone else at all the fucking time, to where it's like, again, man, I got off of Instagram and like, dude, I do this periodically. And it is so fucking great. It really, really is. It's so good for the soul. It's so good for the mind. I had such a great conversation with somebody yesterday, and it was just because I taught a yoga class. I wasn't drenched in sweat because it wasn't hot yoga. I got home, I ate a banana, I felt fucking good, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go walk around. And so I went walking around. I was just window shopping, walking around, and I had a great conversation. And it was because I got off of social media, and it was because I wasn't trying to impress anybody. I wasn't trying to sit there and like, oh, what are you doing? Hey, what is this person doing? What is that person doing? Look what I'm doing. Now I can do a handstand. I can do this kind of fucking yoga pose. I can do a hand clean. I'm fucking, deadlifting 400 pounds. Like, no, it's none of that bullshit. Like, I'm not checking in, and again, going back to fucking living and having those real conversations and those real interactions and those real points of retrospect, to where it's just like, God fucking damn it, man. I'm talking to my kids because that's what I'm trying to talk to. Trying to talk to myself. I'm trying to get myself through to myself by getting through to my kids. And who's getting caught in the crossfire? My poor little fucking babies. My poor little babies. Like, don't get me wrong, they're still doing dumb shit. But I mean, fuck, man. At fucking 18 and 16, who the fuck isn't doing dumb shit? You know what I'm saying? And I'm 40 years old still doing dumb shit, but I'm trying to get through to them, and then even to come into like the conversation of being an impactful person. Why the fuck, for real? I remember telling one of my tattoo artists, I was talking to her like, I wish to God, again, man, sometimes I want Adderall so that way I can focus and get like all the words out of my head because I write a whole lot. But I wish to God that I can draw. And I was telling her this. I wish to God that I was able to draw some of that wild ass shit that I see, because it's so fucking vivid. I could close my eyes and see fucking futuristic sightings in cities, and like, for real, like, if I can go into any kind of room and give you a backstory made out of fucking thin air to every single person in a goddamn room. But I can't get it out for the life of me. I can't get it out. I can't necessarily, again, I don't necessarily know if it's focus, or I can't draw, for one. Like that's just, look, that ain't happening. I can't draw at all. But I wish to God that I could, right? And I remember telling her that, like, I wish I could get it all out. And that woman, shout out Esther, man. Shout out Esther. She straight up told me, she was like, well, maybe that's just for you. Maybe that's just your gift. maybe the universe just wants you to see that shit. Flabbergasted. I was flabbergasted. I could not. I was dumbfounded. And going back to being an impactful person, right? Going back to being whatever the fuck it is, influential and stuff like that. When do we get the time to sit back and look at where the fuck we've gotten in life by being impactful in our own lives? You know what I'm saying? Like, life is fucking wild, dog. Life is fucking wild. And I like this little microphone. I'm like sitting here like fucking, for real. If you stayed around this long, man, thank you very much. I appreciate you. I appreciate the fuck out of you. I swear to God, if this thing doesn't upload today, if this video doesn't upload to YouTube, I am gonna write a letter. I'm gonna write a letter to who the fuck is, I don't know, the powers of YouTube and Jesus Christ and Tom Cruise and all the above, and it's gonna be a very irate letter. But if you got through to this, man, for real, man, take time to know that it's okay, man. Wherever the fuck you're at, you're doing fine, man. You're doing fine. I mean, if you're slobbing on the noggin for crack rocks or something like that, yeah, oh man, I'm cheering for you. I'm rooting for you. Hopefully you'll get back up there. That's not a good place to be. Not a good place to be. So I'm not gonna necessarily say that you're doing fine there, but for real, I'm cheering for you to get back on the fucking on the upswing of things. But outside of that, man, if you're just out here struggling and shit like that, man, going through bipolar disorder, going through parenting, going through life, man, life is fucking rough, man. Life is rough, and you have this expectation to do shit, expectation to become somebody, expectations to do great fucking things. Fuck it, man. Fuck it in a goddamn bucket, man. Man. Look, I'm gonna even get fancier again. I'm gonna try to. Oh, I can't even get fancy there. My watch turned off. I thought I was gonna get my remote and then pow, goodbye. I'm gonna have to edit that out. So I'm gonna go